Good evening, everybody. We are live at Robin Roberts Stadium here in Springfield, Illinois, as the normal CornBelters are set to do battle with the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Opening week here in the second half of Prospect League play, the CornBelters were able to rebound off of a tough loss to the Lumber Kings with a 5-1 victory yesterday back at the Corn Crib against the Danville Dans. Good to get a notch on the Dans, especially in a big division matchup. The CornBelters are trying to right their road woes. They come into play 5-12 in road games. They've lost 5 consecutive games on the road, and they have an opportunity to try and get back in the win column away from the Corn Crib against the Lucky Horseshoes. They come into play 8-18, losers of their last 5 games. Different lineup coming up tonight for the CornBelters. Missing a few regulars, just getting some rest. Tyler Castro, Tyler Thompson, Landon Johnson will be the designated hitter tonight. Judah Morris making his debut, hits cleanup playing first. Will Flanagan's over at third, followed by Austin Wiegand. Griffin Brown gets a start in center tonight. Chris Sahuskis back in the lineup for the first time in a week. He's behind the plate. And Eddie Ledamendi rounds out the order for your normal CornBelters. And Matt Cruz gets to start on the mound. The 6-foot-tall right-hander, his second season with the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Spent some time at Spoon River College and pitched last season for the University of Illinois at Springfield. We'll see how long he goes tonight. His longest outing this season has been 4 1/3. And he only threw 12 innings this past spring at the university at UIS. Cruz 15 innings overall this summer, 1-3, a 7.80 ERA. His last outing, he only went 2 innings, scoreless, allowing 1 hit 10 days ago against the Cape Catfish. Cruz out of the windup, and he's set to go to Tyler Castro, the left-hander. And the first pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. 6:35 Central Standard Time, 84 degrees, and a very cloudy and muggy night in central Illinois. The 0-1 delivery is swung on and lined out of play foul to the left side. Heads up, a fan wasn't paying attention and nearly got blasted by that ball. A light breeze blowing left to right. The corner outfielder's playing fairly deep. The center fielder about medium deep. A ground ball to the right side. Backhand to stop Tyler Butina. He flips to the pitcher Cruz covering. 1 away. Pretty good play right there. 3-1 on that put out. And that'll bring up Tyler Thompson as he settles into the right-handed box. We'll take a look at the Lucky Horseshoes defensively. Jason Andujar, Mike Murphy, Colin Jennings left to right, Cannon Kirk, Wendell Campana, Jimmy Koza, Tyler Butina third to first. Luke Bayer gets a start behind the plate. And of course, Cruz on the mound, who deals a first pitch called strike to Thompson. Tyler comes in 7 for his last 13, riding a 4-game hit streak. Also had an RBI triple yesterday as he takes a curveball that goes right over his head. The Lucky Horseshoes in the third base dugout, white tops, white bottoms with some blue mixed in. CornBelters to the first base dugout, gray bottoms and green tops. Swung on and grounded foul down the third base line. 1-2 the count now to Thompson, 1 out in the top of the first. 70% humidity. And granted, we're in the air conditioning, but as soon as you step out the door, you can feel how thick the air is. The 1-2 out of the windup. Breaking ball swung on, hit out to right. It's fairly well hit, but Colin Jennings has it lined up and makes the one-handed catch. 2 up, 2 down in the first, and it brings up Landon Johnson. Johnson had his 14-game hit streak snapped a couple nights ago in the 11-1 loss to the Lumber Kings. Granted, he came oh so close to a 2-run homer, 1 for 4 with an RBI double yesterday. And the first pitch to him misses way inside. Landon, the league leader in total hits, and he's been leading the way in that for a while. He's up to 43, 371 overall. Swung on and hit out of play foul and over our heads. 1-1 the count to Johnson, 2 outs, the base is clear. Cruz set at the letters, and he goes home. Fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. According to Cody Hawkins behind the plate, David Runyon making the calls in the field. Bit of an overshift on for the left-hander Johnson. The shortstop Campana towards the second base bag, and Jimmy Koza at second, playing in the pull. The 1-2 pitch is taken upstairs. So the CornBelters come in 1-1 in the second half. Lucky Horseshoes opened their second half schedule with a 9-5 loss yesterday to the Lumber Kings right here in Springfield. Curveball misses outside. So after falling behind 1-2, Johnson able to work the count back full. There's a lot of room in center field. 4:15 out there, so it's going to look like all the center fielders play shallow. The 3-2 pitch with 2 outs is swung on, hit pretty well to left center, and Duhar on the run. He has a beat on it, and he makes the catch a couple steps shy of the track. So the CornBelters go down in order to open the ball game. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Drake Downing will take the hill, and the Lucky Horseshoes will take their first set of swings. We're back for the bottom of the first, everyone. The CornBelters going down in order. Drake Downing will take the hill. And it's interesting, he's listed on the Prospect League website of not having any stats, but this will be his 4th appearance on the mound. Downing out of Maryville University. 4.32 ERA over there this past spring in 25 innings. So Downing's looking to repeat what Zach Corson and company were able to do last night in the victory over the Dans. Only walking 2 guys overall. Well, on Saturday, the last time we played the Lucky Horseshoes, we emerged 10-9 over them back at the Corn Crib, but a game where CornBelter pitching issued 12 free passes. In a game where Springfield only had 6 hits. So, of course, we need Downing to throw strikes. That's been basically the key to the game every time we've taken the field over the past 2 weeks. And especially with some of these road games. So Downing all finished up with his warm-up pitches. We'll take a look at the Lucky Horseshoes order. Jimmy Koza leads it off. He's a weapon on the bases. Cannon Kirk follows him. Tyler Butina hits third. Jason Andujar, the cleanup man. Cooper Kahn is the DH. Then Colin Jennings hits 6th. Mike Murphy is in center batting 7th, followed by Wendell Campana. And Luke Byer, the catcher, will round things out batting 9th. So Downing is set out of the windup at the belt. A high leg kick, and he deals a first pitch fastball high. Downing has a bit of a more unorthodox, old school setup. He almost looks like he's in the stretch, but then he takes a couple little baby steps with his front leg, and then brings his arms up above his head. Swung on and missed at a fastball, 1-1 the count to Koza. Comes in second in the team in hitting at .286. Hitless in his last couple games. And he's stolen 21 bags this season, has not been caught. Tied for second in the league in stolen bases. A high bouncer at the short. Letamendi picks it up. Has to hurry to throw in time to retire Koza. And that's an important first out. As Cannon Kirk will settle in, we'll take a look at the CornBelters defensively. Tyler Thompson, Griffin Brown, Austin Wiegand, left to right. Will Flanagan, Eddie Letamendi, Tyler Castro, Judah Morris, third to first. Chris Sahusky gets the start behind the plate, and of course Downing on the mound. 1 out, the base is clear, no score for Kirk. And Downing set to go. Here's the pitch. And it missed somewhere. I guess it was low. We are raised up. This is one of the higher setups we've had throughout the season with us being on the road. And probably further back than a couple of the other ballparks. Curveball, that's in there for a called strike 1. The lights are on in this overcast night in Springfield, as more fans are settling their way into the ballpark. Pretty good crowd on July 3rd. And the 1-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go around? No swing, says David Runyon in the field. So 2-1 the count now, with 1 away. Everybody playing straight up. Griffin Brown, medium deep in center. Boy, there's just so much space behind him. And the 2-1 pitch. Curveball swung on and hit out of play, foul. As it'll even the count 2-2. Kirk hitting .274. A couple home runs, 15 RBIs. This Springfield team, it's a group that when they get on, they love to push the envelope. They did steal 6 bases against us last time we saw them on Saturday. Swinging a foul straight back. The only thing is they come into play last in the league in hitting at .221. So even more important to throw strikes and make them earn their way on. Kirk with a bit of a close stand, right on right the matchup. Long hold for Downing, and now he goes home. And the pitch is lined on 1 hop to the third baseman, Will Flanagan. Takes a couple crow hops and fires across in time to retire Kirk.
On the note of having a lot of speed for the Lucky Horseshoes on the base paths, those first 2 outs are huge ones because Jimmy Koza, 21 of 21 on stolen base attempts, and then Cannon Kirk, who was just retired, he has 9 out of 10, a 90% stolen base rate so far this season. So a lot of speed just retired for Dylan Downing.
2 outs with the bases cleared, no score. Tyler Butina's the hitter. Right on left the matchup. And Downing goes home. First pitch changeup misses down low. Butina comes in hitting .247. 3 home runs, that leads the team. His 19 RBIs also lead the way for the Lucky Horseshoes. As Downing is ready to go with the 1-0 pitch. Check swing on a curve, and he did not go around. No appeal needed. Butina went 3 for 4 against us with a big grand slam that actually tied the game at 4 in the second. And that came after Cole Martz, with a very short outing, walked 5 guys in an inning and a third as a curveball misses outside to the left-hander. Three-0 the count now with 2 away. And here's the pitch. And it's taken outside for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Butina. And that'll bring up Jason Andujar. He's hitting .294, a couple home runs, 15 RBIs. Yeah, these guys love to run. 10 stolen bases for Andujar. Butina only 1 stolen base this summer. Not likely he'll take off. Granted, Chris Sahusky has not been as impressive in throwing out runners compared to Chase Mason. Out of the stretch is Downing, and the first pitch is fouled back by Andujar. Chris is only 4 for 49, nabbing would-be base stealers. Yeah, that's not among the higher-ranking guys in the Prospect League. But it's great to see him back there. The last time Chris caught a game was 10 days ago at Alton, and it's been Chase ever since. And the 0-1 pitch is taken for a called strike on the outside corner. So a week ago at Clinton, Chris came in to pinch hit. Late in the game, it was already decided at that point, but the first pitch he saw, he was drilled right in the back of the head. So he's had to rest for a week, getting over a mild concussion. And the 0-2 pitch is off the end of the bat, hit foul out of play. So we'll do it again. 2 outs, 0-2 the count. No score. Butina at first in the bottom of the first. Center fielder Griffin Brown shaded slightly to left center with the lefty Andujar up. And it's been a while since Chris caught, and Chase Mason, who's getting the night off, he's not even dressed tonight, but he is at the ballpark. He's caught 8 games in 8 days, including both legs of a doubleheader. Next pitch is lined in the left. That's going to drop in front of Tyler Thompson for a base hit. First hit of the night for the Lucky Horseshoes. First hit all the way around. And it puts men on first and second with 2 outs. Looked like a curveball that time from Downing that just kind of stayed in the middle of the plate. And now it's Cooper Cone. Cone gets the start at the designated hitter position tonight. He is one of a very impressive trio of catchers that leads the league in throwing out would-be base stealers at 26%. Next closest team comes in at only 19%. That's the Cape Catfish. Cone hitting 163, a couple home runs, 8 RBIs. And the first pitch by Downing is taken downstairs. Well, Downing only walked 13 guys in his 25 innings this past spring. He's fallen behind a few guys, though, here in the home first. First and second, 2 away. So he checks Butina once and goes home, and that fastball misses way up and in. Cone had to do a bit of dancing. I know it's early, but the way it's been with pitchers, it's been an adventure with our pitchers throwing strikes for the most part. Over the past couple weeks, Zach Corson, 6 innings, only walking 1 seems like an anomaly. Castro, the second baseman, holding on the runner, and the next pitch is inside. So 3-0 the count now. I would imagine Cone would take all the way. So Downing looks in. He's on the far third base side of the rubber. Now he comes set. And he deals. Way upstairs again. So back to our second walk of the inning issued by Downing. I mean, he's missing up in the zone with the curveball, and now he's missing arm side with the heater. Colin Jennings will be the hitter with the bases juiced. Jennings hitting a .182, a home run and 7 RBIs. Well, we'll see if Downing opts to work out of the windup or not. He retired the first 2 men this inning pretty quickly. Then the walk to Butina, the single by Andujar, and now walking Cone on 4 pitches. So we'll go out of the stretch, and he goes home. And a fastball called strike right down the middle. Well, that's a challenge pitch among challenge pitches. Light breeze flowing left to right. A pretty decent crowd, especially on a Wednesday. Well, albeit a Wednesday before a major holiday. And the 0-1 pitch is swung on, lined out to short. Handled by Letamendi on 1 hop. He flips the short way to second just in time to retire Cone. So Drake Downing dances out of some danger. He leaves the bases loaded despite the couple walks. Good play by Letamendi to finish off this home first. We'll head to the top of the second. No score on the CornBelters and Colonel's Collegiate League YouTube channel. Top of the second here at historic Robin Roberts Stadium. Part of the order coming up for the Belters, Judah Morris, Will Flanagan, and Austin Wiegand. Matt Cruz back out to work the second after retiring the Belters in order in the first. Morris making his debut tonight, and he was with the team yesterday. I got to talk to him a little bit during batting practice, got to do the same during batting practice when we got to the ballpark today. So he finished up his season at ISU, late May, and he just wasn't doing a whole lot during the summer as he takes the first pitch for a called strike. And he's good friends with Danny Infante and Tyler Castro. They hang out, and he saw that they were playing. He goes, I think I'm ready to start playing again. So he gave Billy a call and said he's ready to go. Curveball taken outside, 1-1 the count. So Morris led ISU during the spring with 14 home runs and 18 doubles. He had 287 overall. And he's got some big-time power as he takes a curveball for a called strike. Morris, not a big fan of that one. It's the first time since the end of his regular season that he's seen live pitching. Standing at 6'3", 245 pounds. He's a strong guy, a short, quick swing. And a fastball taken just outside. Similar spot on the curveball where he had a strike called against him. 2-2 the count now to open the second. No score between Normal and Springfield. And Cruz is set to go. His 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit out of play foul to the right. And yesterday when I saw him take batting practice, it was clear that Morris was a little bit rusty, pulling off a few pitches that I'm sure normally he wouldn't. But then he hit some missiles out to center, and it seemed like he barely swung at all. He fouls the next one straight back. Morris able to stay alive to open the second. So Judah gets to start at first tonight, and Johnson, who, of course, in the lineup every day is the DH. So they'll flip-flop back and forth, especially if Morris can come out of the gates hot. A changeup taken low. So after falling behind 1-2, Morris able to work it back full. Belters looking for their first base runner of the night. And here's the 3-2 pitch by Cruz. And it's taken down low. So good at bat for Morris, and he's aboard to start the second. The first walk issued by Cruz. And that brings up Will Flanagan. Will comes in hitting .319. Leads the team with 4 home runs and 20 ribbies. Oh, the right side of the infield is wide open, and Will has peppered quite a few balls over there. And the first pitch to him is taken outside. Morris has a pretty good lead at first. He's a big guy, but a good overall athlete. He did play a couple years of high school football as a lineman. The 1-0 pitch is taken way inside. Now 2-0 the count to Flanagan. The Lucky Horseshoes look to turn 2. The left fielder Andujar respecting Flanagan's opposite field power. He's fairly deep. And of course Jennings on the pull side to right, also deep. 2-0 the count as Cruz is set at the belt. And he deals. Swing and a high pop-up right side, and it's going to get out of play. Able to hear that ball clank down in the bleachers. So 2-1 the count now to Flanagan. Will has been a consistent force in the heart of this CornBelter lineup. Ever since joining the team right at the same time as Tarek Thompson-Allen and Will Jeske. Of course, Thompson-Allen getting the day off tonight. The 2-1 pitch is taken in the dirt. 3-1 the count now, after Cruz already walked Morris to start the inning. This is the CornBelter team that comes in 4th in the Prospect League in hitting at .284. Also come in 4th in slugging. Team that doesn't walk a ton, as the 3-1 pitch is a little inside. So back-to-back walks for this aggressive offense. Puts men on first and second with 2 outs. And an opportunity to get on the board. As time is called, we're going to have a meeting on the mound. There's nobody up in the bullpen, understandably so. Just an opportunity to try to slow things down for Cruz. Obviously, get him back in the strike zone. Of course, he's not trying to. Nobody's trying to actually throw balls, but looked like at least to Flanagan that at bat, he was nibbling a bit. Probably the same thing to Morris. You know, a couple of big guys in the middle of the order come up. It can be tempting to try and be almost too perfect with these pitches. We know that our guys have been that way for a period of time with all the walks we've given up. Short meeting, albeit, and it'll be the lefty Wiegand. Austin hitting .271, a couple home runs, 14 RBIs. And the first pitch to him misses a little high. Griffin Brown waits on deck. Well, the outfield is fairly deep, so a hit could score Morris. The 1-0 delivery is taken down and away. All of a sudden, Cruz trying to find it. Looked like he was trying to massage his landing spot for a second. 2-0 the count now. Morris at second and Flanagan at first, as Cruz has slowed things down. Now he's set, checks Morris once and goes home. And the pitch is swung on and hit foul to the right side, past the CornBelter bullpen. 2-1 the count to Wiegand. It looked like something slow from Cruz that time, getting Austin out in front. Austin has been consistent from the get-go in the normal lineup. And the 2-1 pitch is fouled right off his foot. Looked like he might have gone after ball 3. So it evens the count 2-2. Wiegand opts to not use any kind of shin guard on the front foot. As he digs back in, Cruz towards the first base side of the rubber, checks the runner once, and he goes home with the 2-2 pitch, a curveball just outside. And so we saw a bit of a wide strike called on a curve to Morris that initially put him in the hole 1-2, but at least for now, Cruz not getting that call. 3-2 the count now after he's already issued 2 walks. Wiegand waits, and the pitch. Swung on and lined foul out of play to the left. Heads up to a couple fans there. None of those guys down there brought their gloves. No movement on the flag whatsoever in dead center field. It's actually part of a pretty nice little garden there with some short pine trees. No, not pine trees, as the next pitch is at foul. Evergreens? My mom would kill me for not remembering the names of those bushes, because we have a bunch of them just like it back at our house in New Jersey. Anyway, it's over this little 3-foot-tall half wall, serving as the batter's eye with a bit of a black wall behind it. 3-2 the count still to Wiegand as Cruz comes set. First and second, nobody out, no score, top of the second. And the pitch misses outside. The third consecutive walk issued by Matt Cruz. And after working a 1-2-3 first, the bases are now loaded with nobody out for the Belters. And it brings up Griffin Brown. Brown has struggled as of late. He had a hot start initially, but he's down to a $1.94. He's had the last couple days off. An opportunity here. Brown with the open stance in the right-handed box takes a curveball for a called strike. The middle infielders are set up to turn 2. Kirk at third is about even with the bag, and Butina is playing in his normal spot at first. And the 0-1 out of the stretch. Curveball, and he gets the called strike. Brown visibly upset with that one. That was a similar pitch that was called a strike to Morris earlier in the inning. So we've seen that call be a little spotty this inning. 0-2 the count now to Griffin with the bases juiced and no outs. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Brown goes down on 3 pitches. And because of that initial called strike 2 against him, definitely expanded the zone going after that curveball that he might not have swung at otherwise. Now Chris Sahusky will be the hitter. Chris hitting .229 overall. His last start, of course, coming 10 days ago at Alton. Hit by a pitch in a pinch hit appearance that caused his concussion back on Thursday against the Lumber Kings. Big spot here, and he takes a curveball down low. Chris giving the regular catcher, Chase Mason, a much-needed day off. I mean, especially Chase had to catch both legs of the doubleheader against Clinton. And the 1-0 pitch is grounded foul towards third. Morris had to do a little dancing to avoid that one. And there is somebody throwing in the Springfield bullpen. There's no way I can see who it is. There's some kind of structure for fans to sit in with a roof on it that's preventing me from seeing the top half of his body. But there's a right-hander. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball outside. Cruz going with a steady diet of breaking balls to the bottom of the order. Perhaps not confident in his fastball command. Morris at third, Flanagan at second, Wiegand at first, all drawing walks this inning. And the 1-1 pitch is hit in the air to left center. It's pretty well hit. Murphy goes back. The left fielder Andujar will make the catch. Morris will tag. He'll score. The throw comes into third. Pretty good throw, actually, from Andujar. But the CornBelters take a 1-0 lead. Good first at bat from Sahusky, back in the lineup for the first time in a while. And that'll bring up the ninth man, Letamendi. Well, a good job from Chris to take advantage of a pitch towards the middle of the plate and get it up in the air. So still first and second. And if you're Cruz, if you get out of this only allowing the one, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Flanagan does not have great speed at second, and Letamendi swings the first pitch and fouls it at the plate. Eddie hitting .269, a home run, 13 RBIs. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. Eddie's a guy who the ball just explodes off his bat. A lot of room on the right side. And the pitch is swung on over towards third. Kirk bobbles it initially. Long throw across just in time to retire Eddie. So a pretty good play right there. The CornBelters have to settle for just 1 run after loading the bases with nobody out on 3 straight walks. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Drake down and gets back to work with a 1-0 lead. Back for the bottom of the second, 1-0 CornBelters, and we're experiencing a bit of a delay. Birdzerk is making a special appearance as the mascot tonight at Robin Roberts Stadium. Now, he is a very athletic and goofy-looking tropical bird. Oh my gosh. Wow. Anyway, to get you guys caught up, wow. How do I explain this one? So he was dancing with Will Flanagan at third between the inning. And then at the end of the dance, they got a nice big round of applause. Berdzerk stole Will's glove, hopped into his cart, and he drove past the bullpen, then got to the warning track and left. And he just hucked his glove right over the wall.
Will Flanagan does not have a glove on right now, and is that Nick Roseman?
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
To give him a glove?
Yeah, so Nick brought him a new glove. Looks like he actually brought two different gloves out there. I gotta ask him afterwards whether that was actually staged or not to make sure that he brought, one of a different glove out there. Because if that was actually his main glove, that'd really be something. Now, granted, if this was staged, Will really sold it.
Yeah, no doubt. He was dancing with them, shaking his arms, swaying back and forth.
Some good moves.
It looked like him and Berdzerk were having a good time, and then all of a sudden, Will takes his glove off. Now that I'm thinking about it, it had to have been staged. He took his glove off, turned his back. Berdzerk took advantage. Obviously, radio, we got to give you all the descriptions, but Will Flanagan, the third baseman, was looking into right field, and Berdzerk just pulled a fast one right behind his back.
I mean, look, I think my reaction said it all. I'm not speechless very often, but that was one heck of a throw over the wall. Somebody's going to have to get it. I don't know, maybe send Tarek out. He likes to run anyway. He'll have a bit of a ways to go. As Downing finishes his warm-ups, Murphy, Campana, and Byer bottom third. Here in the bottom of the second, 1-0 Belters. Swing and a miss by Murphy to start the inning. So see if Downing can record a shutdown inning here. He worked around the bases-loaded jam, walking two guys in the first, while the CornBelters only pushed a run across a moment ago after drawing 3 walks. Fouled straight back and over our heads. 0-2 the count to Murphy. Mike, at least on Prospect League, indicates it's the second game. Going 0 for 3 in his debut, and a line drive up the middle for a hit. So in that case, first hit of the summer for Murphy. Now 1 for 4. That pitch was hit pretty hard, too. And that brings up Wandel Campana. Campana, his 22nd game of the season, hitting 200. 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Second hit of the night for Springfield as they trail 1-0. So the Belters will set up to turn 2. And Downing will have to deal with some traffic once again. Long hold and a good lead at first. And a fastball misses outside to the left-hander. 6 stolen bases this summer. Excuse me, that was Campana. 6 stolen bases for Campana. And of course, we don't really know how well Mike Murphy runs. He has an aggressive lead, though, and Downing's doing his best to keep him close. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Campana late at that one. So the shortstop Letamendi is definitely playing Wandel to pull. Everybody else straight up. Thompson is playing quite shallow and left. 1-1 on a long hold. Throw over the first, not in time, but they caught Murphy leaning. Murphy definitely looking to run that time, at least by his reaction. Pretty good move from Downing, too. That's one of the better right-handed moves I've seen in the Prospect League. Slater Wilcox is loosening in the CornBelter bullpen. And a fastball misses high. Now nobody up in the Springfield bullpen after we saw some action in the top of the second. Downing, you hope that he can avoid the command issues we had in the bottom of the first. Behind 2-1 now, nobody out, another throw over the first. Murphy dives back without a tag. He does look runnerish. He definitely does. Well, at least from behind the window, it looks awfully dark on the field with the clouds fully encapsulating the sky. Still virtually no breeze. Downing set to go, and the 2-1 pitch misses outside. Well, Slater might have to pick up the pace on his warm-ups, especially because for the second straight inning, Downing is not hitting his spots. He's already walked 2 guys. Fortunate to work out of the first. Behind 3-1 to Campana. He's set, deep breath, and the pitch. The runner goes, the pitch taken up high, and the third walk issued already from Wendell Campana. And this is starting to look awfully familiar to the last time that we saw the Lucky Horseshoes, when Cole Martz walked 5 guys in just an inning and a third. And Billy Dubois out to the mound. The entire infield will come in. I can't tell if he signaled or not. Actually, it looks like Billy's waved off the other infielders. Billy is better than anyone in the league, from what I've seen, in stalling time for his pitchers. I mean, he might be telling him out there, for all we know, that he's just out there to stall for Wilcox. And maybe if he sees anything with his command to, of course, try and get Downing back in the strike zone. So Drake is already up to 31 pitches without having recorded it out in the second. As the meeting concludes, Billy walks off. He did not actually force Cody Hawkins to come out to break up the conversation. And it brings up the 9th man, Luke Byer. Still a chance to turn 2 for the Belters. Byer playing in his 8th game, hitting 148. A double and a single, or a couple RBIs. Letamendi will keep Murphy close at second, who did take off on the ball 4 pitch to Campana. First pitch to the left-hander is up and away. So Downing is missing in virtually the same spot with the fastball. Up and away to the left-handers. So Wilcox is just standing in the bullpen now. Potentially, this could be the last hitter for Downing. And we're already in a stretch where CornBelters are in the midst of playing 11 straight days as Drake delivers a called strike. So it's not like we have unlimited pitching. This is day 7 in that stretch. And especially trying to move above 500 in the second half. Belters look to turn 2, 1-0 normal. No outs in the second, and the pitch. Swung on and fouled right off the leg of Byer. Luke, part of an excellent trio of catchers for the Lucky Horseshoes. Talking to Jack, the Lucky Horseshoes play-by-play guy, he is the weakest of the 3 defensively. But he still comes in 5 for 23 on would-be base stealers, which is still pretty good. And by himself, he would still place second in the entire Prospect League, looking at team standings for that. 1-2 the count now. First and second, nobody out. Murphy getting a big lead off of second, and the pitch is swung on and missed. So a big out right there. First punch out of the night for Downing. And Jimmy Koza will bat for the second time. Koza bounced out to short his first time up. At least from the few ground balls we've seen to start the game and even batting practice, the infield is on the faster side. Not like, obviously, our turf back at the corn crib. But you got to keep an eye on the way the ball bounces off the lip of the infield grass. Downing is set, and the pitch to the right-hander is taken low. I do not see Wilcox anymore. I'm sure he's still out there waiting to see if he needs to come in. My vision is also obstructed by a pole directly in front of me, trying to look towards the bullpen bench. 1-0 the count. Murphy at second, Campana at first. And the pitch is up and outside. And Downing's reaction right there said it all. He kind of shook his arm a bit, a noticeable frustration not being able to command his pitches. And again, this is a guy who only walked 13 guys in 25 innings during the regular season, but during this 2-week stretch, it's really been a mix of almost everyone who's struggled with command. Swing and a high fly ball to right. It's pretty deep. Wiegand is back at the wall, and that ball is gone. So for the second matchup in a row against the Lucky Horseshoes, the walks do end up hurting the CornBelters. A 3-run homer for the leadoff man, Koza. It's his second of the summer, and he's up to 15 RBIs. It's not all that deep down the lines, only 320 going into both corners. And the wind is blowing out slightly to right. The fly ball that just had enough on it. And, you know, so when you're falling behind hitters and you do have men in scoring position to begin with, then you end up in a spot where you just have to groove one. And that fastball, it was out over the plate. It caught a lot of the strike zone, and Koza put a good swing on it. So now it's Kirk who will bat with the bases clear, and he takes a called strike. This is very similar to our last matchup at the Corn Crib. The only difference was it was Butina who hit the grand slam in the second. And we also had 4 runs at that point. Down and in, 1-1 the count. No action in the CornBelter pen, but I would still assume that Wilcox is warm. Out of the windup, the 1-1 is rocketed out to left, but right at Tyler Thompson, who makes the catch at a knee. 2 away here in the second. 3-1 is our score. And it brings up Butina. Tyler drew a walk in the first, one of 3 issued by Downing. And ideally, you want to get Downing somewhat deep into the game. His longest outing during the regular season was 4 2/3. Definitely don't want to have to expend your entire bullpen up high 1-0. And this being the start of a 2-game mini-series, back-to-back days we'll be playing right here at Springfield. 1-0 the count, the base is cleared to Butina. Downing is set, and here's his next pitch, down and in. Yeah, there's not much to really say about it. I don't have the stats in front of me. The live stats don't really give it to us as far as first pitch strike percentages, but there's no way it's good. 2-0 the count. And the next delivery, that's a good curveball in for a called strike. Jason Andujar waits on deck. The 3-run homer just a moment ago for Jimmy Koza gives the Lucky Horseshoes a 3-1 lead, and a called strike on the outside corner. So 2-2 the count with 2 away, and Downing has really slowed down the pace. I mean, of course, that's just naturally going to happen when you're not quite sure where the ball's going to go. And here is the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air, foul to the left side, out of play. And actually over the stadium. It is an interesting old school feel. Granted, the ballpark was first built in 1937, and the once single A affiliate Springfield Cardinals did spend several years playing here. The 2-2 pitch is hit on the ground to the left side, backhanded by Letamendi. He'll have to hurry to throw, and it's a good one in time to get Butina. That retires the side, but 3 runs come across for the Lucky Horseshoes. The big blow on the 3-run blast by Jimmy Koza over the right field wall. We played 2 full at Robin Roberts Stadium, 3-1 Lucky Horseshoes. Top of the third here on the CornBelters and Colonels Collegiate League YouTube. Matt Cruz back out to work the third inning, and he'll face the top of the order for the second time around. And we'll see what the offense can do. Granted, the bats have been much hotter at home as of late compared to on the road, but feels very un-Cornbelter-like. We have not put up a hit yet, as Castro takes a called strike. Tyler 0 for 1. He bounced out to first to open the ball game, hitting .357 overall. Off-balance swing at the next pitch as he fouls it back. Yeah, whatever Cruz is doing right now, we're not getting a whole lot of good swings against him. I think Chris had the best swing out of anyone on his sac fly, leading to the only Cornbelter run as they trail 3-1. Fastball misses up and in to the left-hander. Yeah, at least the first time through, the Cornbelter hitters have been out in front of quite a few pitches, getting some balls off the end of the bat, getting under a few. And the 1-2 delivery is swung on and chopped out to second, handled by Jimmy Koza. He has plenty of time to throw out Castro. So the Cornbelters still in search of their first hit. One away in the third, it brings up Tyler Thompson. Thompson flew out to right his first time up. Well, the flag is still dead in center field. Very heavy, humid night in central Illinois. And the first pitch to the right-hander is down low. Steady dose of breaking balls from Cruz. He's gone to them early and often, even when he walked 3 guys in the second. Center fielder Mike Murphy playing awfully shallow. And the 1-0 pitch is in the air, foul out of play to the right. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Lucky Horseshoes. 1 run, no hits, no errors for the Cornbelters. The left fielder, Jason Andujar, is playing a couple steps in front of the warning track. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and a bouncer towards third. It's a fair ball, handled by Cannon Kirk. He throws on the run and in time to get Thompson. Tyler does run fairly well. He got a very late start out of the box, but that's a pretty good play from Kirk at third. So 2 outs, the base is clear, and Landon Johnson will bat. He flew out to left on a pretty well-hit ball this first time up. Hitting safely in 15 of his last 16 games as he takes outside. Johnson did win the Prospect League Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. And he's been on fire for the better part of 3 weeks. And that ball's hit well out to right. Back is Jennings, and that ball is gone. Landon Johnson, his fourth home run of the summer on a laser to right field. The first hit of the night for the Cornbelters on a ball where I'd love to get the StatCast on it because that thing got out of here in a hurry. So after the 3-run homer from Jimmy Koza in the second, Johnson able to answer back to make it a 3-2 game. Good Lord. Maybe 3 seconds? I mean, that's got to be the closest thing to a Giancarlo Stanton home run that we'll see in the Midwest. First pitch curveball taken as a strike to Morris. The only question was that ball high enough? And it was. Getting it over that 8-foot-tall wooden wall. And the 0-1 pitch to Judah is swung on, hit a mile high. Short right field. Koza goes back. Jennings comes in. And Colin Jennings does make the call and the catch to retire the side. So the Cornbelters are able to answer back thanks to the hottest man in the Midwest, Landon Johnson, going deep to right. So we played 2.5 at Robin Roberts Stadium, 3-2 Lucky Horseshoes. Bottom of the third, 3-2 lucky Horseshoes, and making his guest appearance tonight at Robin Roberts Stadium, Berserk is making his presence felt for the second straight inning. Now he's doing a synchronized dance with the field umpire, David Runyon. And I tell you what, David has some moves. He's hanging in there pretty well with Berserk. Yeah, he's doing stuff with his legs. He's moving his hips around a good amount. Now Berserk's doing a solo. Now he's a very, very interesting looking fella. He's got the crazy hair, and a cartwheel actually, from Runyon. That might easily be the most athletic umpire I've seen in a very long time. Oh, and now a piggyback ride. David's giving Berserk a piggyback ride, and they're going through the CornBelter bullpen. And it looks like David might be done for the night. Oh, he's coming back, a tip of the cap. Berserk is all done. That's a pretty good show. Love to see him go to work with Corny for a home game. But it's only a one-night thing. And boy, he does have that tropical feel going. The clothes, the feathers, all the stuff on his head, everything. Drake Downing back out to work the third. Jason Andujar will get us started. Right on left the matchup. Downing in search of a shutdown inning and an inning where he can get the ball around the plate. First pitch swinging is Andujar. He rolls it out to second. Castro is able to throw him out. Well, that helps. One pitch out. It brings up Cooper Cone. Cone walked his only time up in the first, erased on the fielder's choice. One of 3 walks issued by Downing. And it's not even as much the total number of walks that have hurt him and have driven his pitch count up. He's already up to 48. But it's just falling behind hitters. We've seen plenty of 1-0 and 2-1 counts already. Another first pitch swing, popped up by Cone, right field, not that deep, and Wiegand settles under it to make the catch. Well, Sahusky very excitedly signals 2 outs to the rest of the infield, and I am surprised. After 2 consecutive innings of significant command issues from Downing, Andujar and Cone opt to swing at the first pitch, and they end up making outs. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that if you're Drake. And it brings up Colin Jennings, who did reach on that fielder's choice on a ball hit fairly hard to Letamendi at short. And the first pitch to him, and he takes a called strike. And he pretty much had to take a pitch all the way, at the very least, just to give Matt Cruz some time to catch his breath. Downing shakes off a couple pitches from Sahusky, actually a third one now. A long hold all considered, and now he goes home. Check swing on a changeup that misses low. Seeing some action from the flag for the first time tonight. Now it's actually close to full tilt, going left to right, albeit a very light breeze. Still overcast and the lights are on. They were on from the first pitch at Robin Roberts Stadium. Fastball spiked in the dirt. Now 2-1 the count, 2 outs and the base is clear. Downing is trying to work a 1-2-3 inning. He escaped the bases loaded jam in the first, and then put a couple guys on in the second before the 3-run shot by Koza. Outfield not playing all that deep on Jennings, who has homered once this summer. And the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. Pretty good downward action on what looked like a fastball. Looked too quick to be any kind of changeup. 2-2 the count now. See if Downing can work a 1-2-3 frame. And here's the pitch. A high chopper out to second. Castro charges it, gets on the big hop, underhand flip to first in time to retire Jennings. A 1-2-3, and I mean a quick 1-2-3 inning from Drake Downing. We played 3 full, 3-2 lucky Horseshoes. We'll be right back. Top of the fourth at Robin Roberts Stadium. Flanagan, Wiegand, and Brown will be the hitters. Matt Cruz is back out to work the fourth. We'll see if the CornBelters can string some hits together. That's what they've done throughout virtually the entire summer. Again, coming into play, fourth in the league in hitting. They're a team that's middle of the pack in walks. They don't bunt. Billy made it very clear to both of us that the only time that a guy's allowed to bunt is for a base hit, as Flanagan takes a called strike, who did walk his first time up. They don't hit and run a whole lot. Josh doesn't issue a whole lot of signs in the third base coach's box, as Will takes a pitch low. Been a team who's just hit all year long, and coming into the summer, that's what they were expected to do. But they sit right now only one hit to start the fourth, which is very uncharacteristic, as Will takes a pitch a little outside. And even within this 5-game road losing streak, they've still generally hit the ball pretty well. And here's the 2-1. A little low. So good hitters count for Flanagan. He has a lot of room in the right center field alleyway. And here's the pitch. Rocketed foul down the right field line. Heads up in the beer garden. Well, that's definitely the second hardest hit ball by a CornBelter hitter tonight. Of course, a distant second to Landon Johnson's solo home run coming into third. And that made it a 3-2 game. Flanagan takes his time getting back in the box. Cruz climbs the mound once more. And he kicks and deals the 3-2. A high fly ball to left field, shallow. Andujar comes charging in, and he's able to get there and make the catch. Campana and Kirk were also back there. On the way here in the fourth, and Austin Wiegand will be the hitter. Wiegand walked his first time up, one of 3 free passes issued by Cruz, all of them coming in the second to start that inning. And of course, middle innings, but that does loom kind of large, getting the bases loaded with nobody out and only pushing 1 run across, outside to Wiegand. Now, this didn't come into play on that fly ball, but once you get past the infield dirt, you have a pretty significant hill that goes straight down. So any infielder that's trying to make a play going behind him, they're going to be running downhill for at least a little stretch. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3. See if Wiegand takes all the way. Josh also made it very clear to me that he doesn't put take signs on. And the pitch is a called strike right down the middle. Anybody who takes all the way on the 3-0 pitch does it on his own. Cruz working quickly now, and the 3-1 is a little outside. Wiegand aboard with 1 out. That's the 4th walk issued tonight by Cruz. There's nobody up in either bullpen. Now, there are just a couple of guys playing a very light game of catch for Springfield, but I doubt that involves any serious warming up. Griffin Brown will bat. He struck out with the bases loaded, no outs his first time up, which ended up being a huge out for Cruz. First pitch, swing and a miss by Griffin. Yeah, he hasn't been comfortable for the better part of a couple weeks. He had a good day against the Lafayette Aviators, hitting a couple balls hard, but his timing hasn't quite been there. Throw over the first, Wiegand back safely. Austin has stolen 3 bags this summer. And Griffin's a guy who can absolutely hit. He raked for the better part of 2 seasons in JUCO. Of course, now committed to Michigan State. Another throw over, Wiegand back without a tag. And during batting practice, he easily has one of the most solid swings out of anybody on the roster. 0-1 the count with 1 out. And the pitch by Cruz in the dirt. Brown also seeing a ton of curveballs tonight. And Cruz has thrown a lot of them just all the way around. But Brown might be seeing the most per capita. Springfield looking to turn 2. The right fielder Jennings playing fairly deep. Cruz is set, and the 1-1. Swung on and popped up. as Brown slams the bat down. The second baseman Koza's there, but it'll be the right fielder Jennings who makes the catch, just a few steps shy of the infield dirt. So the struggles for Brown do continue as there's 2 outs in the 4th. Now it's the Huskies' turn. Chris had a sacrifice fly to left center his first time up, initially giving the Belters a 1-0 lead, as we stand with the Belters trailing 3-2 with 2 outs. See if Wiegand takes off from first. He has a very good lead. Another throw over, almost got away from Butina. It was a wide throw, and Butina, who is a right-handed first baseman, had to reach way across his body. And granted, Bayer does throw well behind the plate, but I'd love to see Wiegand take off. First pitch in for a called strike. Especially on a night where the CornBelters, well, we have 1 hit, and that was the home run by Johnson. So you might have to try and manufacture some runs any way you can. Long hold by Cruz in the 0-1. The runner doesn't go, and the pitch is trickled foul. So Husky now behind 0-2. Cruz an opportunity to pick up his second strikeout of the night. CornBelters are a top 3 team in not striking out. Just haven't made a lot of hard contact so far tonight. The 0-2 will have to wait, another throw over. Wiegand gets back with some time to spare. And again, a pretty good crowd 1 day before Independence Day. Big hole in the right side. Koza shaded towards second. And the 0-2 pitch is lined towards the middle. Handled on 1 hop by Campana. He goes the short way to second to retire Wiegand. So the Belters go down quietly. They leave 1. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. The Lucky Horseshoes still lead 3-2. We're ready to go for the bottom of the 4th on the CornBelters and Colonels Collegiate League YouTube page. Downing will get back to work in the 4th after working a 1-2-3 third. A very good sign, especially laboring through the first 2 innings. He'll face the bottom 3rd, Murphy, Campana, and Bayer. Mike singled his first time up to start the rally in the 2nd, and he takes a fastball upstairs. There is a left-hander just playing catch right now with Nick Roseman, our bullpen coach. He has not indicated who it might be. Called strike at the knees. I tell you what, Nick is just the man. There's definitely nobody better than him in the whole league as far as sending up substitutions and especially guys loosening up in the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. The body language has not been great from Drake tonight. Obviously, he's been out there a few times. It's the first time I've seen him. But he's fortunate right now to only be behind 3-2. The 2-1 pitch to start the fourth is hit hard into left center. It's going to drop in for a hit in front of Brown. So for the second time tonight, the Lucky Horseshoes do have the leadoff man aboard. That's their fourth hit tonight. And Campana will be the batter. Wandel walked his only time up in the second. Well, it's been a bizarre game, to say the least. The Lucky Horseshoes are out hitting the CornBelters 4-1. And at least with the amount of base runners they've had, it feels like, well, what we've been doing at home games, as we try to snap a 5-game road losing streak, and the first pitch taken outside. Well, the left-hander in the CornBelter pen, he's now throwing lightly from the base of the mound. So we'll see how long Downing gets. Zach O'Donnell is the left-hander warming up. And a fastball taken for a ball as Downing snaps the ball back from Sahusky. And at least from this angle, I can't say I blame him. I have no idea where that one missed. I mean, Sahusky didn't move at all, so the ball caught the plate. Must have been high, and it really didn't even look high. But I'll say this, when you're all over the place, you're not likely to get a lot of calls. And that's a case in point. 2-0 the count with Murphy at first. No outs, bottom of the fourth, 3-2 Horseshoes. Check swing, and that's a called strike. And frankly, the pitch before that was a much better pitch. Still a light breeze blowing left to right. As O'Donnell, as quickly as he got up and throwing, he's not throwing anymore. Downing, who came into the inning, or he's up to 60 pitches as he throws over. Not a horrible spot for his pitch count, all things considered, but it's just been a lot of high-stress pitches and a lot of laboring. 2-1 the count as Downing stares in, set at the belt. Pretty good lead from Murphy at first. He's leaning towards second, and there he goes. Pitch taken for a called strike. The throw by Sahusky is high, and it's going to be late. Well, it was a good jump from Murphy. And Sahusky, who hasn't thrown a ton of guys out stealing, it was a strong throw, but just way too high for Letamendi to apply a quick tag. And again, this is a Lucky Horseshoes team that, when they get on base, they like to run. I'm actually surprised that Morris didn't tell Downing to step off just with how runnerish Murphy looked. Swing and a miss at a 2-2 pitch. Sahusky will fire it down the first to finish off the strikeout. Murphy remains at second. Just the second strikeout of the night for Downing. I mean, you got to give the Springfield guys credit. When Downing has been in the strike zone, they've been putting the ball in play and finding a couple holes. 1 out, and Luke Byer will be the hitter. He struck out his first time up. So Brown throws very well in center, and Wiegand has a pretty good arm in right. Thompson a little more average in left. As far as a base hit and trying to score Murphy is concerned. First pitch misses up and away to the left-hander Luke. And Downing, very slow, very deliberate right now. Obviously doesn't have his best stuff, but trying to at least work through the fourth. As he comes set with the 1-0 count, Murphy at second with a short lead, and the pitch is outside. Downing has not been comfortable at all throwing to left-handers. He's missed several pitches, whether the fastball or the changeup, in that same spot, up in the zone and away from the left-handed hitter. He's fortunate it's only a 3-2 game right now. And what happened here? A pitch clock violation has been called. So it's going to be ball 3. That is only the second pitch clock violation I've seen all summer. Granted, from what I've been told, it's been very subjective with the umpires enforcing it. As Byer takes outside ball 4, the fourth walk issued by Drake. And look, 4 walks in 3 1/3, it's not good by any means, but the amount of hitters that Drake has fallen behind again, it feels like more than 4 walks. And it does bring up the top of the order. It's Koza, who hit the 3-run homer his last time up in the second. So a dangerous spot right now, as Downing tries to roll a double play ball and see if he can locate a few pitches to a dangerous hitter. Koza did come in the second leading hitter for the Horseshoes as he takes a called strike. Let's see, I see a guy stirring in the CornBelter bullpen. There's Nick with his equipment. There's nobody throwing right now, though. Some interesting management going on with trying to get Downing deep into the game, and a curveball taken just inside. That's a pitch Downing wanted. Perhaps it might have just looped the plate. Pitch like that, of course, at my vantage point, a little bit to the left of home plate. Tough to try and see that. Of course, no TrackMan either with that box. I do love the TrackMan box. 1-1 the count with 1 out. First and second, and the pitch. Good curveball on the outside corner. That might have been the best one of the night from Downing. Murphy at second, who singled to start the inning and stole the base. Byer at first, who walked a moment ago. 1-2 the count to Koza. Downing comes set after another long hold. The flag limp in center. A deep breath from Drake. And the 1-2 pitch. Check swing in the dirt. Well, tried to get Koza to go after a pitch low, but I don't think he started the ball over the plate. Billy for now trying to work Drake through the fourth to give the bullpen at least a bit of a break. A bullpen that was tremendous last night, going 3 shutout innings. The next pitch is hit pretty well out to center. Brown racing back. He's getting turned around, and he makes a tumbling grab. As he fires it back towards second, tagging and going to third is Murphy. Griffin Brown, he has a lot of space to work with back there with the 415 fence. He got turned around 2 different times of that ball and made one heck of an athletic play. That is a second huge out in the fourth. Now, granted, those line drives right at you are the toughest, but center field is Griffin's favorite outfield spot to play. Of course, coming into normal as the everyday left fielder. Getting to start in center, Tarek Thompson-Allen getting a much-deserved day off. So Cannon Kirk the hitter with first and third 2 outs, 3-2 Horseshoes. And here's the first pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike. And hopefully a play like that can fire up this CornBelter squad, where even though they only trail by 1, they only have the 1 hit. They've been kind of lifeless all night. The 1 hit to go with the starter Downing, who just hasn't been around the plate that much. The 0-1 will have to wait. Throw over the first. Byer back without a tag. So Downing, 33 strikes. No, I read that wrong. 33 balls to go with 39 strikes. Definitely not the kind of ratio you want. But the 0-1 pitch is inside. Almost got a piece of Kirk. Now, you definitely don't want to load the bases, because that would bring up Butina, who had a grand slam against us within the past week. But obviously, when you're struggling with your command, you'd rather have a base open. 1-1 the count now as Downing is set, trying to work through this fourth. And that pitch did end up getting a piece of Kirk. That hit everybody. That hit Sahusky, and that caught a pretty good piece of the umpire, Hawkins. Yeah, Billy Dubois out to check on him. They're calling the trainer down. Oh, yeah, Cody Hawkins is going down to a knee. Now, you just hope he got the wind knocked out of him on that. So we'll take a short break. The base is loaded now with 2 outs in the fourth as as we check on the home plate umpire, Cody Hawkins. So we are back in the bottom of the fourth. In case you guys stepped aside for a second, on the previous pitch that got a piece of Cannon Kirk, it also caught the home plate umpire, Cody Hawkins, squarely in the chest. So he was down on the knee for a bit. They had some water brought out to him. He's up on his feet now, and he looks like he's good to go to continue calling balls and strikes. So likely just got the wind knocked out of him. So a bit of a scary moment for maybe a minute or so, but everybody is okay. Now Drake Downing, who's put 5 men on via free pass, has nowhere to put Butina, who does have home run power. Bases loaded with 2 outs. And the first pitch out of the stretch is rocketed into right, just foul. Butina just a little out in front of that. That would have easily scored 2 runs. And Billy Dubois is opting to stick with Drake. There is a right-hander back up and throwing in the CornBelter bullpen. No action in the Lucky Horseshoes pen. I guess Butina did actually break his bat. Well, he's coming back with a new piece of lumber now. Hopefully this bat has less juice in it. The center fielder Griffin Brown shaded slightly to left center. Infield trying to knock something down. Belters trailing 3-2. A deep breath and the pitch by Downing is on the outside corner for a called strike 2. Hawkins had a bit of a delay that time. Looks like Ethan McMasters is the guy up and throwing for the CornBelters. 0-2 the count now. Can Downing pick up one more big pitch? Here it is. 0-2 with the bases loaded, is in the dirt, blocked by Sahusky. It's really the first time we've seen Chris actually have to block a ball tonight. There hasn't been a single wild pitch on either side, but part of that has just been everything from Drake has been up in the zone. All of his misses have been up. So 1-2 the count now. You have Kirk at first, Byer at second, and Murphy at third. Downing, very deliberate as he's been most of the night. He's set, and the 1-2 is fouled straight back. Pretty good swing that time for Butina. He got a curveball towards the middle of the plate. Now this would be one of those situations, if you had the confidence to throw inside, this would be a good time for a heater on the inner half to Tyler. 1-2 the count, and here's the pitch. Fouled away again. So a couple pretty good swings from Butina. Picked on a fastball that time. Albeit only the bottom of the fourth, but a big spot right here. Downing was able to work out of a bases loaded jam in the first, trying to do it for the second time tonight. As he's set once again. Butina waving the bat above his head. The 1-2 once more is fouled away again at the plate. 3 straight foul balls. Downing, who's up over 80 pitches now. He's labored the entire night. These have been 80 costly, high energy, high intensity pitches with men aboard, men in scoring position. He's set now. The 1-2 one more time is hit way up in the air, short right field. Tyler Castro goes back. Wiegand coming in, and Castro's able to make the catch. Drake Downing, for the second time tonight, works out of a bases-loaded jam, and he picked up a big timeout against a frustrated Tyler Brutina. Through 4 full here at Robin Roberts Stadium, it's Springfield 3 and Normal 2. Top of the 5th here at Robin Roberts Stadium, and the mascots are back at it. So Berserk is wearing some kind of Jedi robe, and he has a buddy out there. Now he is a fat, short, and stout bird buddy of his. Oh wow, he just farted. He just turned around, and his buddy just ignited a whole bunch of steamy gas out of his backside as he just smacked the home plate umpire on the butt. Looks like that's Zerk Joe. Yeah, that's his name on his little green apron. Now he looks kind of like a Pac-Man character, at least with the beak that he has. He has a backwards hat. Oh, how about this? So he's a toy robot. So Berserk is using a remote controller to push him, and he was able to exit this very narrow gate right at the backstop, and he's climbing up the stairs. And these are some very tall stairs that they're trying to climb. You got to be in some shape to actually climb these stairs. Get it going up towards the press box. So the adventures of Berserk continue. Eddie Letamendi will start us off. Matt Cruz, who's up to 70 pitches, will come back out for the 5th. Out of the windup, and the first pitch to Letamendi is a curveball taken for a called strike 1. Letamendi didn't like it. I thought that ball looped the plate. Well, runners in scoring position have been pretty key tonight. The Lucky Horseshoes only 1 for 6, but of course the 1 was the 3-run bomb by Koza. Pitch taken outside, 1-1 the count. CornBelters are 0 for 2, because frankly, they just haven't done a lot of anything tonight other than the home run by Johnson. And then you had a sacrifice fly in the 2nd after we loaded the bases with nobody out, only pushing the 1 run across. 2-1 the count now to Eddie. And here's the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Well, Cruz he's located some good pitches inside with the fastball and the curve. And this is a CornBelter lineup that loves the fastball. They've often preferred the guys who sit in the mid to high 80s. And Johnson and Sahusky have really had the only good swings tonight. Well, I guess Flanagan on the 1 foul ball. Pitch misses way outside. 3-2 the count now to Eddie. Right now, the saving grace for a suddenly cold CornBelter offense is with all the deep counts, Cruz's pitch count is getting up there. There is a right-hander throwing in the Springfield bullpen, and the 3-2 pitch is rolled slowly foul towards the third base dugout. Letamendi bounced out to short his first time up. So for the second time tonight, Joshua Mauney is the right-hander warming for the Horseshoes, and the 3-2 pitch misses way outside. So the CornBelters have the leadoff man aboard tonight for their second time tonight. And it brings up the leadoff man, Castro. So Tyler had a couple very strong games coming back from his pulled quad, but he's been cold in, well, the last couple outings. He did have an off day between his previous two starts. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a couple soft groundouts, and he swings the first pitch and lines it foul into the stands. There was a youngster there who had it pop right out of his glove as it trickled down to a lucky fan with the ball. And that guy's going to give it to a different kid. The 0-1 has to wait, check on Letamendi at first. He's back ahead of the tag. Eddie can fly. He's stolen 9 bags this summer. There's a huge hole on the right side. Koza's playing way over towards second, even with the lefty at the plate. Cruz is set as the sun starts to set. And the pitch misses outside. Letamendi got a big-time secondary right there, but opted to put the brakes on. So we had a situation where Wiegand was aboard with 2 outs. He opted not to run. This is a CornBelter team that is in the bottom half in stolen bases. But at some point, I bet Letamendi would take off. Swinging a high chopper to short. Handled by Campana. He goes the short way for 1, not in time to retire Castro at first. Fortunately, that ball was hit way too slowly to try and turn 2, even with Castro still only running about 75-80% up the line. So Castro aboard on the fielder's choice. You'd much rather have him out there, of course not running full tilt if you're the lucky Horseshoes. 1 out, 3-2 in the top of the 5th. And Tyler Thompson's the hitter. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to third his last time up. Throw over and Castro goes back in standing up. I promise, Castro is not a threat to run. Now the guys on the field don't know this, but he's not going anywhere. Pitch taken for a called strike to Thompson. 2 runs on only 1 hit for the CornBelters, that being the solo shot by Johnson in the 3rd. 3 runs on 4 hits for the Horseshoes. And the 0-1 pitch is lined on 1 hop to second slowly, picked up by Koza. He goes to second for 1, back over the first, and that's in time to turn the 4-6-3 double play. So Matt Cruz faces the minimum here in the 5th. And even though he came into tonight with an ERA over 7, he's dealing at the moment. Through 5, only allowing the 2 runs on the 1 hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. You're going to hear Adam Hipsky's voice a little more often, or a lot more often, the rest of the way. CornBelters trail 3-2.
Welcome back here at Robin Roberts Stadium. We've reached the bottom of the 5th. The home Springfield Lucky Horseshoes hold a narrow 3-2 lead. And entering into the game, first call out of the bullpen for Billy DuBois is Ethan McMasters, making his first appearance here with the CornBelters in the summer of 2024. He'll deal to the 4-5-6 hitters, starting with the left-handed left fielder, Jason Andujar, who will tap the plate twice, cycle it in front of the white tops, white bottoms, ready it over his left shoulder. McMasters kicks and deals, and the first pitch is a fastball that's lined into center field. Coming in on it is Griffin Brown, and he'll make the grab
So one pitch is all it takes for Ethan McMasters to get his feet wet here in the CornBelters uniforms, sporting the green tops, gray bottoms, yellow lettering, CornBelters scripted across the chest. Now the right-handed designated hitter, Cooper Cone, steps in. Right on right, the matchup here to Ethan McMasters, the 5'10", 185-pound sophomore from John Wood Community College. The first pitch, fastball on the outside corner, called strike one. Cone walked in the first and flew out to right in the third. Horseshoes lead at 3-2, bottom of the fifth. Nobody on. Breaking ball on the inner half, just misses below the zone. A ball and a strike now to Cooper Cone. Cone, Northern Illinois freshman, readying the bat over his right shoulder. He fly ball left field, going back at the wall. Tyler Thompson, and it's off the base of the wall. Thompson fields it, fires it into the infield, but Cooper Cone has a one-out double, and the Horseshoes have their first man aboard in the bottom of the fifth. McMasters, a 4-pitch mix, fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, and Cooper Cone just got a hold of that one. Went to the curveball there and hammered it over into left. So now Cooper Cone off the bag at second, not being held on by Eddie Letamendi. Here's the first pitch to the right fielder, Colin Jennings, and it misses down and in. 1-0 the count. Jennings grounded into a fielder's choice in the first. He left it loaded. His first time to the plate. Grounded out to second. The 1-0 misses below the zone. 2 balls and a strike now. Jennings last recorded a hit back on June 23rd versus the Cape Catfish. Struggling to find his groove here the past week and a half. He swings at the 2-0 and it's grounded foul off the CornBelters dugout. Occupying that first base side. Robert Stadium, nice crowd on hand. Lights are on. July 3rd. Getting ready for Independence Day tomorrow. Taking in a beautiful night for baseball. 2 balls and a strike. Runner on second. Changeup cut on and missed. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jennings did not play last night. And the Lucky Horseshoes 9-5 loss to the Clinton Lumber Kings. Trying to get back in the win column here. 3-2, they lead it. McMasters kicks and deals, goes to a fastball, but misses outside. Count runs full here with 1 away in the bottom of the fifth. Cooper Cone off the bag at second. Just 1 away, so runner won't be on the move. McMasters set at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounded foul. Ranging to his left, Clint Jeffers, the Lucky Horseshoes first base coach, made a barehanded snag. Having some chats with the CornBelters dugout over there. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 7th pitch of the at-bat forthcoming to Colin Jennings. McMasters fires and he misses outside and allows his first base on balls tonight. And now 2 on with 1 away, the bottom of the fifth for the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. So Mike Murphy, who slotted in the 7 hole for Brad Gorka's squad, is 2 for 2. He's playing just his second game with the Lucky Horseshoes. He was 0 for 3 last night in his debut, but playing well so far in his first game at home. Singled in the second and singled in the fourth. Here's the first pitch to Murphy, and it misses up and outside. 1-0 the count. Murphy stole a bag in the fourth, his first of the season. 2 on, 1 out. Lucky Horseshoes lead at 3-2. McMasters, the first one out of the pen. The 1-0 comes home. Fastball misses downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Wandel Campana The left-handed shortstop on deck. Right on right the matchup now, though, between Ethan McMasters and Mike Murphy. Here's the 2-0, and it misses up and in at the letters. 3 balls, no strikes, as Mike Murphy takes a peek down the third base line to third base coach Brad Gorkos, who's in a wide stance. Bends down into a squat. Coaching up Cooper Kona over on second base. 3-0, 1 out. Comes in and it misses outside at the belt. Fastball and a 4-pitch walk is given to Mike Murphy. So after a quick start for Ethan McMasters getting that first retirement to Jason Andujar on 1 pitch, he's now allowed a double and a pair of walks, and now Wandel Campana steps in the left side with the bases loaded and just 1 away. And now Billy Dubois finally will take a stroll out of the first base dugout and chat with his right-handed reliever, who's making his debut with the CornBelters this summer. Just joined the team yesterday. The CornBelters the CornBelters beat Danville 5-1 last night. Solid work out of the pen. 3 scoreless innings after Zach Corson provided 6 frames to start. Getting the days mixed up here. A lot of baseball, and Belters currently sporting a 1-game win streak. 1-1 so far in the second half. Opened up the second half of the season with a loss to the Clinton Lumber Kings, and then beat Danville last night, who won the first half of the Central Division. Mound Visit breaks. Here's the first pitch now to Campana. He swings at it, and it's fly ball into center field. Tagging on it is Cooper Cone. Brown fields it and throws it into the infield to the cutoff man Flanagan. And Cooper Cone comes around to score. Jennings will move from second to third, and Mike Murphy stays put at first. And the Horseshoes lead at 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. So Campana does his job and lines one into center. And now Luke Bayer steps in, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Runners on the corners with 2 away. The first pitch from McMasters, swing and a miss. Changeup. Luke Bayer was way in front of it, and count worked 0-1. Back to the top of the order is on deck Jimmy Kuza. No balls, 1 strike. Runners on the corners. McMasters fires, and it paints the outer half for called strike 2. 0-2 now to Luke Bayer, who's just making his 8th start of the season. Behind the count, 0-2 now. McMasters fires, and he misses down, and it bounces off the chest of Sahusky, who recovers it. Running down the third base line is Colin Jennings. He started to look like he was going to break for the plate, but the ball didn't bounce as far as what I think he initially anticipated, and Sahusky's quick reactions behind the dish. He forces Jennings back to the bag at third, and Murphy stays put at second. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lucky Horseshoes lead at 4-2. McMasters sets up the letters, now brings it down to the belt. Pitches out of the stretch, goes to a fastball and misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes down. Mike Murphy getting some instruction from his first base coach, Clint Jeffers. Being held on by Judah Morris. The 2-2 from McMasters. Swing and a miss. So the Horseshoes tack on 1, but leave 2 on the corners. We'll turn it to the the top of the 6th. Landon Johnson, Judah Morris, and Will Flanagan due up for the Belters. Welcome back. Top of the sixth. Lucky Horseshoes lead the normal CornBelters 4-2. 3-4-5 hitters due up in the forms of Landon Johnson, Judah Morris, and Will Flanagan for the CornBelters. And Brad Gorkas makes his first call to the pen, and it's Joshua Mowney. He'll relieve Matt Cruz, who was phenomenal on the hill for the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. He went 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 2 runs, both of which were earned. He allowed 5 free passes. That's really the only true blemish on his line, but also 1 strikeout. And now Josh Mowney enters, the right-handed sophomore who's appeared in 9 games, started just 1. He's received 2 decisions, both of which were victories. Matt Cruz is in line for a victory now for what it's worth. He's gone 27 1/3, allowed 17 runs, only 12 of which were earned, and 17 strikeouts in those 27 innings. Monty's ready to deal to Landon Johnson, who steps in the left side, and he fires a first pitch changeup over the heart of the plate for a called strike. The designated hitter Johnson's behind 0-1 to open things in the top of the 6th. Monty with a 3.95 ERA. He pitches out of the windup, and a little bit of confusion. Landon Johnson went with a check swing. He went all the way around, says home plate umpire Cody Hawkins, and he's behind 0-2. It looked like he might have caught a little bit of the backstop Luke Byer. He's behind 0-2. Monty winds and deals, and Johnson lines one down in front of the center fielder for a base hit. So Johnson's 2 for 3, and the DH, who has recorded a hit in 16 of his last 17 games, now has a pair of hits. He's first in the Prospect League in hits, and you see why right there. Belters have their leadoff man aboard in the top of the 6th. They trail 4-2, and now Judah Morris, who's making his CornBelters debut, digs in the right side, cycles the bat in front of the green tops twice, readies it over his right shoulder, and looks at a first pitch strike, a fastball on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Morris walked and scored in the 2nd and flew out to right field in the 3rd. The 6'3", 245-pound junior from Illinois State. The 1-0 fastball comes in downstairs. A ball and a strike now to Judah Morris. Johnson not a threat over there on first, but still being held on by Tyler Butina. Matt Cruz. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike now to Judah Morris. Will Flanagan on deck. Be a change of pace as sandwiched between 2 lefties, Landon Johnson and Will Flanagan. Judah Morris is at the dish right now, and he looks at another slider that dived low and away. 3 balls and a strike now to the first baseman. Landon Johnson, the typical first baseman, but getting a day off defensively with the addition of Judah Morris. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Grounded left side, fielded by Campani. Goes to second for 1. Over to first, and it's in time for a 6-4-3 double play. So, probably the 2 slowest guys out there on the base paths for the CornBelters, unfortunately, get caught up in a ground ball that was sharply hit. So, plenty of time for Campana to glove it. Flip to second, and Jimmy Koza did the rest, going over to first. And now the left-handed third baseman digs in, right on left the matchup. And he looks at a first pitch fastball above the zone, 1-0. Flanagan hitting .319 this season. He walked in the 2nd and flew out to left in the 4th. Curveball on the 1-0, is swung on and missed. 1-1 the count now. Flanagan, 6 foot, 205-pound sophomore from Parkland College. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside, a fastball. In at the knees, 2 balls and a strike to Will Flanagan. 4-2 CornBelters lead. The base is cleared after the 6-4-3 double play. Here's the 2-1. Over the heart of the plate, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flanagan's seen 4 pitches. Now with the 2 strike count. Here's the 2-2, and a changeup bounces 58 feet And the count runs full here in the top of the 6th. Austin Wiegand on deck. He's walked twice today. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on and miss. Flanagan goes down swinging. And Joshua Mounty faces the minimum in the top of the 6th after a 6-4-3 double play. A little bit of help from his defense. Now he looks for a little bit of insurance from his offense. We'll turn it to the top, bottom of the 6th. 1-2-3, due up for the Horseshoes. Wednesday night under the lights here at Robin Roberts Stadium. Ethan McMaster's back out for his 2nd inning of work. Out of the pen, he'll deal to righty, righty, lefty in the forms of the 1-2-3 hitters, Jimmy Koza, Cannon Kirk, and Tyler Butina. Right on right, the matchup to open things up to Jimmy Koza, who is responsible for 75% of the Horseshoe scoring. He looks at a first pitch fastball below the zone for a called ball. 1-0 the count in the bottom of the 6th. Koza had a 3-run home run in the 2nd. Otherwise, has been unproductive in his other 2 at-bats. The 1-0 comes in on the inner half of the plate, called strike, 1-1 the count. McMaster's dealing quickly now out of the windup. 1-1, fouled up and out of play. He'll reach the right field seats. 1-2 the count to Jimmy Koza. Defense playing straight up. Middle infielders a few steps back. The 1-2, called strike 3. A fastball on the outside corner. And Ethan McMasters has his 2nd punch out of the night. His first one looking. And now the 3rd baseman, Cannon Kirk, who's 0 for 2 tonight, digs in the right side. Nice at-bat there from Ethan McMasters. Goes to a first pitch breaking ball, misses inside. 1-0 the count. Kirk grounded out to 3rd in the 1st, lined out to left in the 2nd. Fly ball left side and out of play. Cannon Kirk now evens the count at 1-1. McMaster's out of the windup, comes home. Fastball misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike to the 3rd baseman. Kirk was hit by a pitch, his last time to the dish in the 4th. The 2-1 popped up, out of play once again, right side into the seats. A couple of kids racing down the bleachers now to Haul that one in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McMasters kicks and deals. Fly ball right side of the infield. Judah Morris calls off the second baseman Castro. Both feet on the infield grass, and he makes the one-handed squeeze for out number 1. Out number 2. Now Tyler Butina, who's 0 for 2 with a walk in the first, steps in the left side, the first lefty of the inning that Ethan McMasters has had to face. 2 outs, nobody on. 4-2 Horseshoes lead the Belters. First pitch fastball misses inside. 1-0 the count. Butina leads the team with 19 RBIs. A dangerous threat at the plate, but nobody on. The 1-0 fastball misses inside and at the knees. 2-0 the count now. Nobody on. 2 outs. McMasters, a long kick. He comes home, and it's grounded foul right side. Past the CornBelters dugout, who occupy that first base side. 2 balls and a strike now. McMasters working much quicker than what he did in his first inning of work. Goes home. And the changeup misses in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike now to the first baseman, Tyler Butina, who's been really solid in the field defensively for the Horseshoes. Here's the 3-1. Called strike on the outside corner. Nice four-seam fastball from Ethan McMasters, and the count runs full here to the 6-foot, 230-pound freshman. Here in the 3 spot. And the 3-2 fastball misses outside, and the right-handed batter's box, and a 2-out walk is awarded to Tyler Butina. And now the cleanup man, Jason Andujar, who's 1 for 3, steps in the left side looking to advance his first baseman with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th with a 4-2 lead. CornBelters on the road tonight and tomorrow in Springfield. Trying to pick up the first one of the 2-game mini-series, and a first pitch to Jason Andujar is on the inside corner, called strike to the 6'1", 200-pound senior, who had a double last night in the 9-5 loss to Clinton. Extra bases would do a lot of damage here. Swing and a miss on the 0-1 fastball. It was below the zone, but Andujar, with an aggressive approach, went after Ethan McMasters, but unproductively, he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first, 2 outs, 4-2 Horseshoes lead it. Andujar props the bat over the left shoulder. He looks at a fastball above the zone. 1-2 the count. Andujar with a .439 on-base percentage this summer. He's left the yard twice in 2024. The 1-2. Breaking ball called strike 3. Ethan McMasters. Couple of Picasso paint jobs painting the corners. We head to the top of the 7th. 6, 7, 8. Due up for the Belters. Wiegand, Brown, and Sahusky to swing it in the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th, Weekend, Griffin Brown, and Chris Sahusky due up for the CornBelters. Right on left, the matchup to open things up here in the top of the 7th. Joshua Mounty returns to the hill for his second inning of efforts. He readies at the belt, stares at Weekend, and comes home with a first pitch fastball. Misses the outside corner, a called ball to get things going. Belters trail it 4-2, looking for an offensive spark. They've been held extremely quiet, just 2 hits on the night. Here's the 1-0. Popped up, left side, shallow left field. Going in on it is the left fielder and the shortstop. They'll converge, and it drops in between the two, and Weekend has a base hit. That was trouble between Campana and Andujar. And the third baseman, Cannon Kirk, was in on it as well. And it drops in between the 3 of them, and Weekend has a leadoff single in the top of the 7th. So now Griffin Brown digs in the right side, right on right the matchup with Weekend on first and nobody out. CornBelters trailing 4-2. Here's the first pitch to Brown. A changeup misses above the zone. 1-0 the count. Griffin Brown still looking to find his stride here with the Belters. He's 0 for 2. The strikeout tonight, just hitting 194, the Michigan State Spartan. And he looks at a breaking ball that ended up just breaking a little bit too much for home plate umpire Cody Hawkins' liking. 2 balls, no strikes now to Griffin Brown. Weekend a healthy lead off the bag at first, being held on by Butina, not being checked by Mounty, and Mounty delivers a strike on the outer half. 2-1 the count. Solid night so far from the Horseshoes pitching staff. Matt Cruz gave 5 innings of 1 hit ball, and that one's grounded right side. Chance to turn 2, 4, 6, 3 is in time. Every time that the Belters get a runner on first, it seems that it just disappears with a double play. That's their 3rd of the night. This time Griffin Brown grounds one over to the right side, and Koza to Campana to Butina, and now nobody on with 2 away for the right-handed catcher, Chris Sahusky. Sahusky playing in his first game since June 23rd. Here's the first pitch from Mounty, and he misses downstairs, 1-0. Sahusky had an RBI sacrifice fly in the 2nd and grounded into a fielder's choice in the 4th. Eddie Letamendi, the shortstop, is on deck, but there's 2 away. The Horseshoes lead it 4-2. Mounty winds and fires, grounded left side. Campana charges it, gloves it, throws on a hop, and it pulls Butina off the line, and it heads to the right field wall. So Chris Sahusky reaches on an error, and Campana, who had really plenty of time, just rushed the throw, and Sahusky ends up reaching first. So now the 9-hole Eddie Letamendi does step in the right-handed batter's box. Mounty checks Sahusky over on first. Here's the first pitch to Letamendi, and it's a fastball that misses outside, 1-0. Letamendi grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd and walked in the 5th. That was really Matt Cruz's only blemish after providing 5 innings of 1-hit ball. Here's the 1-0. Popped up left side of the infield. The third baseman Kirk is under it, and he makes the grab and gets a behind the back flip to the ball over to the mound, and there's 3 away now in the 7th. We'll turn it to the bottom of the 7th. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Lucky Horseshoes. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Horseshoes, who lead it 4-2 here at Robin Roberts Stadium. Wednesday night under the lights. Ethan McMaster's back out for his third inning out of the pen. The first call from Billy DuBois after Drake Downing went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. Now McMaster's has allowed 1, and the right-handed designated hitter Cooper Cone digs in to kick things off in the bottom of the 7th. Shoes looking to add on to its 2-run advantage. McMaster's pitching out of the windup. Here's the first of the at-bat to Cone, and it's fouled right side and out of play. 0-1 the count. Cone walked in the first, flew out to right in the third, and doubled and scored in the 5th. Behind 0-1. Popped up right side. That one's going out of play. Once again, it continues to curl towards those right field seats over the beer garden that sits right to the right of the CornBelters bullpen out there in right field down the first base line. Cooper Cone behind 0-2. McMaster's nods a couple of no's to the backstop Chris Sahusky. Now he kicks and fires and misses outside 1-2. After a couple of fastballs, McMaster's goes to the slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Called strike 3. McMaster's, who had a pair of punch-outs in the 6th, now fans the leadoff batter in the 7th, and Cooper Cone goes down looking to open things in the bottom of the 7th. Horseshoes still lead at 4-2. So now Colin Jennings, the left-handed right fielder, who's tall, standing at 6'5", 215 pounds, looks at a first pitch changeup above the zone, ball 1. Jennings walked and scored in the 5th. The 1-0. Fastball misses inside, 2-0 the count now. Just concluded the 7th inning stretch. Belters looking to mount a comeback. Need the defense to hold strong, and Ethan McMaster's to continue providing some stability on the hill. He steps off for a second, retoes the rubber, winds and fires a strike right across the heart of the plate. 2-1 the count. Jennings last recorded a hit back on June 23rd. Looking to get back in the hit column as he hits a fly ball to center field. Griffin Brown's under it, and he makes the grab, a routine fly out. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. So now Mike Murphy, who's in just his 2nd game with the Horseshoes, was unproductive last night in his debut. An 0-for-3 night with a strikeout. Has been much, much better today. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a stolen base. He also walked in the 5th. He digs in the right side, stands towards the front of the batter's box, and he looks at a first pitch called strike, a fastball on the outside corner. 0-1 the count to the center fielder, Mike Murphy. Murphy, 5'11", 190-pound junior. The 0-1, grounded left side. Flanagan charges, rifles across the diamond, and a nice throw is in time to retire Mike Murphy. So McMaster's faces the minimum for the first time tonight, and the Shoes go 3 up, 3 down. The Belters still trail at 4-2, but the 1-2-3 hitters due up in the top of the 8th. Castro, Thompson, and Johnson will swing it. Top of the 8th, CornBelters trail 4-2. Under the lights here at Robin Roberts Stadium, a fireworks show set to commence at the conclusion of the game. The CornBelters looking to spoil it with a comeback victory. Top of the order, due up in the top of the 8th. Lefty, righty, lefty. Tyler Castro, the second baseman, taps the plate, cycles it in front of his chest, and is set to look at the first pitch from Joshua Mounty. He grounds it right side, and it hooks foul down the right field line. 0-1 the count to Tyler Castro, who's 0 for 3 tonight, hitting .357 this summer, but struggling at the dish right now. He was 0 for 3 with a strikeout last night in the 5-1 win over Danville. The 0-1 changeup misses in the right-handed batter's box. 1-1 the count to Tyler Castro. Joshua Mounty, who's been really solid in the first call to the pen for Brad Gorkas. Here's the 1-1. Foul tipped. A ball and 2 strikes now to Tyler Castro. Castro, 6'1", 190-pound junior from Eastern Illinois. Looking to spark things in the top of the 8th. Mounty readies at the belt, winds and deals, grounded left side, fielded by Campana. He'll chuck it across the diamond, and it's in time to retire the leadoff man, Tyler Castro, and there's one away. Tyler Thompson, who's been red hot over the course of the past week, has really slowed down tonight. He's 0 for 3 and grounded into a double play, but heading into the night, he was hitting .538 over the course of the past week. Digs in the right side, right on right the matchup. Mounty fires. First pitch fastball that's fouled straight back into the screen. 0-1 to the left fielder. Thompson was 2 for 4 with an RBI triple last night. 5'10", 190-pound sophomore. The 0-1 popped up right side, out of play, heading back towards the seats and down the right field line. And through 2 pitches, Tyler Thompson's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Mounty, defense playing straight up behind him. Breaking ball called strike 3. Down the heart of the plate, fooled Tyler Thompson, and he gets punched out. And 2 up, 2 down to open things in the top of the 8th. Lucky Horseshoes leading 4-2, and now Landon Johnson, who has really been the lone bright spot in this Belters lineup today, had a home run in the 3rd and singled in the 6th. He's responsible for 2 out of the 3 CornBelters base knocks, and he swings at a first pitch fastball and grounds it foul down the right field line. 0-1 to the designated hitter. He's typically an everyday first baseman, and the 0-1 changeup fouled straight back. He was a little bit ahead of the off speed, and similar to Tyler Thompson, through 2 pitches, Landon Johnson's behind 0-2. Monty winds and fires, and it's grounded right side over the glove of Butina and into right field. So Landon Johnson now has 3 hits, and the CornBelters have just 4, but potentially a 2-out rally as the game-tying run in the form of Judah Morris steps in the right side. So Landon Johnson, who leads the Prospect League and hits, now has his 3rd of the night. Judah Morris making his CornBelters debut. A huge potential spot forthcoming, and a first pitch slider dives into the left-handed batter's box. 1-0 the count to the first baseman, Judah Morris, 6'3", 245 pounds. A frame that is very filled out. 1-0, fastball on the outside corner. 1-1 the count to the first baseman, who giving Landon Johnson a day off defensively. Landon Johnson typically an everyday first baseman, but getting the day off, being slotted into the designated hitting spot. Josh Mounty steps off the rubber. Retoes it now. Comes set at the belt. Johnson off the bag at first. Here's the 1-1, and a fastball misses outside. 1-2 the count. 2-1 the count. Morris walked and scored in the 2nd and grounded into a double play in the 6th. 2 balls, 1 strike. Morris grounds it left side, and it's just to the left of the white painted line for a foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Judah Morris, who hit .275 with 11 home runs this spring with Illinois State. Took the first half of the summer off, just joined the team yesterday, didn't play, but getting his first start. A huge spot here, the 2-2. Fastball misses just outside. Josh Mounty thought it was called strike 3, but the count runs full here in the top of the 8th. Will Flanagan on deck. Johnson goes, and the full count pitch is outside, and a walk is awarded to Judah Morris. And so now 2 in scoring position, and the go-ahead run is at the plate, and the tying run is on first here for the Belters, who trail at 4-2. Belters got the scoring started in the top of the first. Jimmy Koza responded with a 3-run home run that gave the Horseshoes a 3-1 lead that they haven't given up. First pitch fastball to Flanagan is inside, ball 1. Flanagan walked in the second, flew out to left in the fourth, and struck out swinging in the 6th. Johnson off the bag at second, Morris off the bag at first. Here's the 1-0. Fly ball right side. Going back on it is Jennings. He settles in under it, a foot in front of the track, and it's into his glove for out number 3. So the Belters put together a 2-out threat, but it simmers when Will Flanagan flies out to right field. So Wiegand, Brown, and Sahusky will be due up in the top of the 9th for the last chance for the Belters. But right now, the defense has to hold strong. 8-9-1 due up on the other side. Back to the pen for the Belters in the bottom of the 8th. This time, the southpaw Zach O'Donnell enters. He's making his 13th appearance. This will be his 14th inning of work. He currently sports a 6.23 ERA. He's received 2 decisions despite not having started a game. He's 1-1 in which he's received decisions. He has 12 strikeouts in 13 innings of work. He's set to deal to the 8-9-1 hitter, starting with the left-handed shortstop Wandell Campana, who digs in the left side. O'Donnell comes set at the letters, winds and deals a first pitch breaking ball on the inside corner, came in at the knees, strike 1. Campana, who had a sacrifice RBI fly his last time up in the 5th. Here's the 0-1 from O'Donnell. Another breaking ball, same spot, called strike 2. So a couple of off speeds from the left hand of Zach O'Donnell, and Wandell Campana's behind 0-2. 6'1", 190 pounds, standing towards the back of the batter's box on the left side. Here's the 0-2. A slider misses in the right-handed batter's box. Campana holds his swing. Count works to a ball and 2 strikes. Luke Bayer on deck, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 8-hole. Wandale Campana, called strike 3 on the outside corner. 4 pitches is all Zach O'Donnell needs, and Campana doesn't even swing the bat once. So first punch out of the night for Zach O'Donnell, his 13th of the season, and there's 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Lucky Horseshoes lead at 4-2. Belters need the defense to hold strong. They want a chance to mount a comeback. The 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for normal in the top of the 9th. O'Donnell now looks in at Luke Bayer, who looks at a first pitch fastball on the outside corner. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Ethan McMaster's day is done. We'll get you his final line in just a second. A terrific debut from him. The 0-1. Grounded right side and foul. Heading towards the CornBelters bullpen. It's to the right of first base coach Clint Jeffers. And through 2 pitches, Luke Bayer is behind 0-2. McMasters went 3 innings in the first call out of the pen. Surrendered just 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. 3 base on balls, but 4 punch outs in his CornBelters debut. Now O'Donnell, the 0-2 to Bayer, and it's fouled straight back, heading towards us, but just in front of us as it was stopped by a young lady's bare hand. We're behind home plate, slanted down the first base line here under the lights at Robin Roberts Stadium. The Belters looking to snap their 5-game losing streak on the road. Need a comeback here. 4-2 the score, Shoes lead it. O'Donnell set up the letters, kicks and deals, and it misses just outside. A nice spot from the southpaw O'Donnell, but Bayer holds a swing and stays alive for 1 more pitch. Now the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Defense playing straight up. Outfield, medium depth. Called strike 3. So the last pitch wasn't quite there, but this one, according to home plate umpire Cody Hawkins, was. And 2 punch-outs to open Zach O'Donnell's night, and they were both looking. And now the leadoff man, Jimmy Koza, steps in the right side, trying to spark a 2-out rally as the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes attempting to tack on some insurance run. They currently hold a 4-2 lead. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Belters in the top of the 9th. But right now, 2 away and the base is cleared for Zach O'Donnell, who winds a first pitch fastball but misses above the zone. Jimmy Koza looks at ball 1. Koza, right now in line for player of the game, had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 2nd. Gave the Horseshoes their first lead of the night. He squares to bunt, and it's down the first base line and foul. So now a ball and a strike to Jimmy Koza, who's 1 for 4. He struck out his last time up in the 6th. He did go down looking, which is what Zach O'Donnell has done to the first 2 hitters he's faced here in the bottom of the 8th. Koza an open stance on the right-handed batter's box. O'Donnell stares down under the night sky. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Jimmy Koza. 2 balls and 1 strike, rather. Middle infielders taking a few steps in. Letamendi at short. Castro over at second. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses up and in just above the knees, and the count works to a hitter's advantage to Jimmy Koza, who's 21 for 21 on stolen base attempts this summer. A dangerous threat on the base paths if he reaches there. He's drawn 27 walks, currently in a 3-1 count. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, and it misses inside, and Jimmy Koza just drew his 28th base on balls of the 2024 summer. So now Cannon Kirk steps in the right side with 2 away and a runner on first. Horseshoes lead at 4-2. Belters lead the season series 3-1. Just played last Saturday. Normal took it 10-9. Looking to extend that season series lead. These two squads will be back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock, right here at Robin Roberts Stadium, celebrating Independence Day. Goes off the bag at first. He takes off for second. The pitch outside. A nice throw from Sahusky, but Koza gets past the slide applied by Letamendi. That was a nice throw from Sahusky. It was honestly could have been a pitch out from O'Donnell. He hasn't been that erratic all night. It was a fastball in the left-handed batter's box, but Koza takes off and he's in the scoring position with 2 away. The 1-0, fastball misses high. 2 balls, no strikes now to Cannon Kirk, who's 0 for 3. A ground out in the first, a line out in the second, and a pop out in the sixth. Now Billy DuBois leaves his first base dugout, and he wants to talk it over with his left-hander, Zach O'Donnell, who looks a bit frustrated out there, but I don't think Billy DuBois is looking to make a call to the pen, as right now, Belter's just looking to get out of this one unscathed. A quick mound visit from Billy DuBois. He heads back to the dugout. Now Chris Sahusky sticks around to offer a few words, and he now takes his stroll back behind the dish. The mound belongs to one man, and that's the southpaw Zach O'Donnell. 1 on, 2 away. Jimmy Koza dances off the bag at second. Cannon Kirk taps the plate, takes a practice swing, and cocks the bat over his right shoulder. 2 balls, no strikes. O'Donnell checks the runner at second, fires home. A breaking ball misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes now to Cannon Kirk, who was 2 for 5 with an RBI last night, and he's got a chance to bring in the speedy Jimmy Koza over at second right here. 4-2, Springfield leads it in the bottom of the 8th. 3-0, fastball on the outside corner, called strike. So Zach O'Donnell looking to battle his way back into the count. 3-1, the count. Koza shuffling off the bag at second. O'Donnell takes a peek and then steps off the rubber, looking to regroup and walk Jimmy Koza back to the bag at second. O'Donnell hunched over, gripping the ball in the left hand. Now comes set at the letters, checks the runner at second, sends it home, and it's lined up the middle, but making a sliding stop, Castro. He'll fire to first, and it's in time. A beautiful defensive play from Tyler Castro to strand a runner on the base paths for the Horseshoes. Right now, though, Normal needs an offensive jolt. Austin Wiegand, Griffin Brown, and Chris Sahusky look to provide it. They trail 4-2. Do or die for the Belters in the top of the 9th. Austin Wiegand, the left-handed right fielder, will kick things off in the top of the 9th. On deck is Griffin Brown, who's 0 for 3, but right now Austin Wiegand has been much more productive. He has 2 walks and a base hit. So that's a 1-for-1 line to the 5'10", 185-pound freshman who readies the bat over the left shoulder, and he swings at the first pitch, and it's lined into right field, and it gets past Colin Jennings. Wiegand takes a turn around first, looks at second, but retreats to the bag, and a leadoff single for Austin Wiegand. He's now 2 for 2, and the tying run at the plate in the form of Griffin Brown. Horseshoes still lead at 4-2, though. And we're going to have a pinch hitter, actually. So Tarek Thompson-Allen, who was in the dugout. Griffin Brown was on deck, but now Tarek Thompson-Allen digs in the left side. The typical center fielder. Griffin Brown has struggled tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and he grounded into a double play. But now it's time for Tarek Thompson-Allen. Wiegand off the bag at first. Nobody out, top of the 9th. Lucky Horseshoes lead it 4-2. Thompson-Allen squares to bunt, and it's fouled straight back into the screen. 0-1 the count. Thompson-Allen hitting .310 so far this summer. This is his 22nd game. 26 for 84 this summer. No balls, 1 strike. Wiegand shuffles off the bag at first. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball left side of the infield. Cannon Kirk is under it, and he makes the grab in a crouch. So Tarek Thompson-Allen comes in to pinch hit and pops out in foul territory to Cannon Kirk. And there's 1 away, but still 1 runner on. And now Chris Sahusky tries to advance Austin Wiegand over at first. Sahusky had an RBI sac fly in the second. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the first and reached on an error in the 7th. Here's the first pitch, and he looks at a called strike. Fastball over the heart of the plate. 0-1 to the backstop, Chris Sahusky. Eddie Letamendi on deck. 1 out, runner on first. 4-2, Horseshoes lead at top of the 9th. Last chance effort for the Belters. The 0-1 cut on and missed. A 4-seam fastball that Chris Sahusky was way behind, and through 2 pitches, he's behind in the count. 0-2. Sahusky making his first appearance since June 23rd. Had a mild concussion, being thrown back into the lineup. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. He holds it, and it's below the zone. Ball 1. Sahusky's last time on the diamond was June 23rd against the Alton River Dragons. He was 2 for 4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A fastball misses below the zone. Sahusky holds the swing. Count works even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-handed shortstop Eddie Letamendi is on deck. Sahusky hitting .229 this summer. The 2-2 cut on and missed. Foul tipped right into the glove of Luke Bayer. And the Belters are now down to their final out. And Eddie Letamendi, the 9-hole shortstop, steps in the right side. Horseshoes looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Belters looking to snap a 5-game losing streak on the road. Mountie looking for the save. Here's the first pitch to Letamendi. A fastball misses above the zone, 1-0. Letamendi walked in the 5th, but grounded out to third in the 2nd and popped out to third in the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. Wiegand on first. Letamendi swings through the 1-0. Count levels a ball and a strike. Letamendi, a mainstay in the Belters lineup. His 30th start of the season. He's recorded a hit in 6 of his last 7. Wiegand shuffles off the bag at first, being held on by Butina. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball left field. It gets down for a base hit, and it rolls to the wall. Wiegand will go first to third. He gets the stop sign from Josh Foreman. Letamendi cruises into second with a stand-up double, and the Belters have a pair in scoring position, trailing 4-2, and it's back to the top of the order for Tyler Castro, who's batting .357. So right on left the matchup, and now we're going to have a mound visit. No arm loosening in the Horseshoes bullpen. So Ryan Oden will take the elongated stroll out from the third base dugout. So Wiegand's at third, Eddie Letamendi's at second, and Tyler Castro is set to step to the plate with Tyler Thompson on deck. So to reset things for you, the Belters got the scoring started in the second inning with an RBI sacrifice fly from Chris Zahusky. Jimmy Koza responded instantly in the bottom of the second with a 3-run home run. They haven't given up that lead yet. The Belters tacked on another one with a solo home run to cut the lead to 1. Landon Johnson went yard. That score was 3-2, and then the Lucky Horseshoes tacked on an insurance score with a sacrifice fly from Wandell Campana. Mound visit breaks. The hill belongs to Josh Mounty, looking for the save. Here's the first pitch to Castro. It's a changeup that misses outside. 1-0 the count to the second baseman, who has an on-base percentage of .427, but he hasn't recorded a hit since June 29th. He's 0 for 4 tonight. And the 1-0 is fouled back into the screen. He was behind the four-seamer. 1-1 the count. Castro grounded out to the shortstop his last time to the dish. 6'1", 190 pounds. Collects himself in the batter's box. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball up the middle. It's down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Josh Foreman gives Letamendi the windmill, and he's in without a throw. 4-4. Belters have tied it up. An RBI single from Tyler Castro, and the go-ahead run is on base in the top of the ninth. So now Tyler Thompson, with 2 outs, steps in the right side. Eddie Letamendi with a 2-out double to keep things alive, looking like the hero. 4-4, Tyler Thompson swings at a first pitch fastball and fouls it up and out of play. Down the first base line and behind home plate, 0-1 the count to the left fielder, who's been red hot over the course of the past week but struggling tonight. He's 0 for 4 with a strikeout. 5'10", 195 pounds. A closed stance in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch, and it's a slider that ducks away into the left-handed side. 1-1 the count. Now, Tyler Castro shuffles off the bag at first, being held on by Butina. The 1-1. Fastball misses below the zone. 2-1 the count now to Tyler Thompson, who's hitting .208 this summer, but finally getting healthy. He was saying that he really has only felt his best this past week, and he's hit .538 over the course of the last 7 days. So those numbers check out. Here's the 2-1. Popped up, out of play once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. We're tied 4-4 in the top of the ninth. A 2 RBI single off the bat of Tyler Castro has given the Belters a chance to tie things up. Thompson rests the bat over his right shoulder. Now props it up. The 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? And base umpire David Runyon says he did not go around. And the count runs full in the top of the ninth. Tyler Thompson 2 for 4 with an RBI triple last night. An RBI triple right here would give the Belters the lead. Their first since the second inning. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's tapped foul behind the screen. So Castro was on the move with a full count and 2 away. He'll return to the first base bag. Tyler Thompson, who stepped out of the batter's box, now re-toes. Taps the plate twice. Mounty sets at the belt. Winds and fires. The payoff pitch is called strike 3, and we're headed to the bottom of the ninth. Tyler Thompson goes down looking for the second consecutive inning, and the Shoes will have a chance to walk it off in the bottom half of the frame. Due up for Springfield will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. back for the bottom of the ninth. Billy DuBois is giving an earful to home plate umpire Cody Hawkins, and he's just been tossed. Billy DuBois is not giving up. He's going back for seconds. Now base umpire David Runyon comes in from the first base side. Billy DuBois is still giving it to him. He kicks the dirt. Zach O'Donnell's on the hill, and he just got tossed for the second time, this time by base umpire David Runyon. Billy DuBois is certainly less than pleased with the called strike 3 to Tyler Thompson to end things in the ninth. And now Billy DuBois has given up on home plate umpire Cody Hawkins, and now he's ripping base umpire David Runyon. David Runyon shows him the way out, and now he kicks the dirt. He's kicking the dirt on home plate. He's wiping it across the dish. Now he's going back for thirds on Cody Hawkins. And right now, this is peak entertainment. Trying to fire up the CornBelters, who are tied 4-4. Zach O'Donnell looks to provide some stability out of the pen for the Belters. 4-4, we've reached the bottom of the ninth. And Billy DuBois is walking down the left field line, continuing to rip David Runyon. And now acting manager Josh Foreman, who's the hitting coach and third base coach, will step in and make the calls the rest of the way for the Belters in case we go to extra innings. So Billy DuBois continues to take that elongated stroll. He's now reaching that bullpen in third base as O'Donnell fires to Sahusky, throws down to second. We're set to kick things off in the bottom of the ninth. Tyler Butina, the left-handed first baseman, will step in to kick things off. Defensive substitutions for the Belters. Tarek Thompson-Allen, who pinch hit for Griffin Brown in the top of the ninth, now roams center field. The rest of the 8 remain the same. Left on left the matchup to kick things off in the bottom of the ninth. Tied 4-4, Horseshoes looking to walk it off. A first pitch breaking ball on the inside corner, called strike 1 to Tyler Butina, who has 3 home runs this summer. A fourth would end the ball game and snap a 5-game skid for Springfield. Here's the 0-1 from O'Donnell. Another breaking ball popped up right side, curling foul into the seats. Judah Morris gave a short chase, but realized that one would be out of play, and the count is now 0-2 to Tyler Butina, who was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts last night, but has had success against the CornBelters, was 3 for 4 against them on the 29th. No balls, 2 strikes. O'Donnell kicks and fires and misses just outside. Not sure where Cody Hawkins had it, but it wasn't in the box, and the count's now 1-2. Defense playing straight up. Butina, the left-hander. 1-2, fly ball center field. Thompson-Allen with a good jump, and he ranges over his left shoulder and makes the grab for out number 1. 1 away, bases clear, bottom of the ninth. We're tied 4-4, and Jason Andujar, the cleanup left fielder, now steps in for Brad Gorkas' squad. A fireworks show set to commence at the end of the night, but the CornBelters looking to spoil it with a comeback victory. They trailed 4-2. They've knotted it up at 4. Jason Andujar, the left-hander. Southpaw deals, and he misses a fastball in at the belt. 1-0 the count. Andujar, the 6'1", 200-pound senior. One ball, no strikes. Shortstop Letamendi with his heels on the grass. Here's the 1-0. Fly ball left side, hooking foul. Tyler Thompson ran after it, but will run out of time, and the count levels at a ball and a strike. Andujar, 15 RBIs. Has 2 home runs this summer. 1-1, 1 away, nobody on for the Shoes. The windup and the pitch is a fastball on the outer half, called strike to Jason Andujar. The count now 1-2. O'Donnell comes set at the letters. Fireworks going off behind us. Wind up and the deal is outside. Ball misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count now. And Duhar with 5 doubles, 2 triples, and a pair of home runs, hitting .294 for the Shoes this summer. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and miss. Southpaw goes to the breaking ball and punches out Butina, and there's now 2 away in the bottom of the 9th, and the designated hitter Cooper Cone will step in for Brad Gorkis' crew, trying to keep things alive and walk it off. That's the ultimate goal for Springfield. Cooper Cone has 2 home runs. Walked and scored in the 5th. Flew out to center his last time up in the 7th. O'Donnell winds and fires a first pitch fastball that misses below the zone. Cooper Cone doesn't swing, and the count's 1-0. Letamendi a few steps back, playing the pull from the right-handed Cone. A breaking ball over the heart of the plate, a called strike. A ball and a strike now to Cooper Cone, 5'10", 180-pound freshman. Last recorded a hit on June 22nd against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. Here's the 1-1. Change up on the outside corner, called strike 2. Colin Jennings is on deck, but there's 2 away, nobody on. 4-4, we're tied up. Tyler Castro, a 2 RBI single, squared things at 4 apiece on the top of the 9th. O'Donnell, the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. That was where the backstop Chris Sahusky was set up, and the count's even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Cody Hawkins making critical decisions now. Billy DuBois was thrown out of the game in between the top and the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 2-2. A breaking ball misses inside. Cooper Cone had to corkscrew his body to not get hit, and the count reaches the maximum here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. Nobody on. If the Shoes can mount a 2-out rally, they would walk it off. O'Donnell grips the ball in his left hand, now comes set just below the brim. Here's the payoff pitch, and he misses outside with a full count breaking ball. And now Colin Jennings, the left-handed right fielder who's hitting .182, will dig in and try and advance Cooper Cone. So 1 on, still 2 away. CornBelters now being managed by Josh Foreman after Billy DuBois was tossed from the ball game in the middle of the 9th. Defense playing straight up. Here's the first pitch. Called strike on the outside corner to Colin Jennings. Would be expecting the defense to, or the outfield rather, to be playing a little further back to prevent any extra base hits, and Cone to go first all the way around to score. Here's the 0-1. Grounded left side. Letamendi fields it, and he misses it. He pulled his glove, and it bounced off the mitt. And so Colin Jennings reaches on an error, and Cone's into second, and Mike Murphy, who's 2 for 3, has a chance to walk it off with a runner in scoring position, and Josh Foreman walks out of the first base dugout to talk things over with the Belters defense. We'll see what the call is. It looks like he may take the ball out of Zach O'Donnell's hands, which is unfortunate for the left-hander because I mean, that ball should have just been fielded, and he does. Zach O'Donnell's day is done. We'll see who he turns it to. Looks like Tyler Altenbomber out of the pen for the Belters. So he'll deal with 2 in scoring position. We'll step aside. You don't want to go anywhere. Horseshoes with a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. So acting manager Josh Foreman makes the call to the pen, and he goes to the righty Tyler Altenbomber. There's 2 on and 2 away in the bottom of the 9th. The CornBelters and the Lucky Horseshoes are squared at 4. Mike Murphy, in just his 2nd game with the Shoes, has a chance to walk it off with a base hit. The 5'11", 190-pound right-handed freshman will face another righty, the sophomore Tyler Altenbomber, who has 10 2/3 innings of work, 19 hits, 20 runs, 16 of which were earned, 11 walks, and 17 strikeouts in that 10 2/3 innings of efforts. That's good for a 13.50 ERA and a 2.81 walks and hits per innings pitched. Altenbomber has dealt his final warm-up pitch. Mike Murphy now takes a few practice cuts outside the right-handed batter's box. Cooper Cone is the base runner on 2nd, and Colin Jennings, who reached on an error, takes a few steps off the bag at 1st. 2 outs, a force at 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. Altenbomber winds and deals a first pitch fastball above the zone for ball 1. Murphy played his freshman season with Central Michigan, hit a home run in his first at-bat. A chance to be the hero under the Wednesday night lights. The 1-0 fastball misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes now to the center fielder Mike Murphy, who was 0 for 3 in his debut last night, but singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, walked in the 5th, and grounded out to 3rd in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out. 4-4 tie ball game. Murphy readies the bat over his right shoulder, and he hits a pop fly over the first baseman's head. Cooper Cone rounds 3rd, and he's in for a walk-off single, and the Horseshoes have won it off Mike Murphy's RBI single. He ends the day 3 for 4 and the hero for the Horseshoes. Springfield snaps its 5-game losing streak, and the normal CornBelters have now lost their 6th straight game on the road. Billy DuBois was tossed in the middle of the 9th. Tyler Altenbomber faced 1 batter, and it was an RBI single to end it. The final score here at Robin Roberts Stadium, a thrilling 5-4 win for the Lucky Horseshoes, who will now enjoy a fireworks show over the beautiful confines of Robin Roberts Stadium. For Adam Hipsky and Evan Schmeiser, we thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday night of Prospect League action. The final score, CornBelters 4, Lucky Horseshoes 5. Back in action tomorrow night. We won't have the call, but you can tune into Prospect League TV. We'll be back on July 5th as the Alden River Dragons come to town. We're back home at the Corn Crib. For Evan Schmeiser and Adam Hipsky saying so long, thank you for joining us here on this Prospect League presentation.